In this wild Stanley Cup playoff season, we haven't had a Game 7. We finally do. And we'll have lots of fun talking about this photo, this game, and a bunch of other stuff going on right now here on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday night, September 2nd, 2020, day 21 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the only game on the docket is a Game 6 between Colorado and Dallas. And a good one indeed. Slightly bucked the fashion of this series. We'll see what that transpires as we move forward into the playoffs here on Teal Town After Dark. If you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it, folks. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans in our YouTube chat on the page or the app. Follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, and of course, don't forget to join us in our Discord chat, especially if you like car chases. And of course, for more Sharks content, hit us up at tealtownusa.com. And with that, good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a good Wednesday night with you. Joining you from the, Shark Tank North is what I usually call this. I'm Eric Curry. You can reach me on Twitter at PuckGuy14, also on the Instagram. No jersey tonight. We'll show you the shirt of the night in just a jiffy. Hope you're doing all well. Question for you. Are you ready for a Game 7? Like, seriously, are you ready for a Game 7? Because, my goodness gracious, we got one in this series where we thought Dallas was going to just dethrone everybody and just move onward to the Western Conference Final for the first time in 2008. That being said, not so much, my friend. Although, Colorado, oh my goodness gracious, can you stay healthy? That is the big question. You're going to your number 3 goaltender in this series, and now your captain is injured, and who knows his status for Game 7. Let's break it down for you for this game. Game 6 with the chance for the Dallas Stars to go to the Western Conference Final for the first time since they eliminated the Sharks in 2008. Early on, or late in the first period, Miro Heiskanen with a nice shot that, let's be honest, Michael Hutchinson should have had. That beats him on his glove side. Remember, he wears the right-handed glove there, making it 1-0 Dallas. And then just late in the period to equalize it, Zadorov gets his third of the playoffs. A seeing eye shot, even just skirted the ice a little bit. In fact, I think it got a scotch of a deflection on from how chippy the ice was. It might be a different thing if it weren't weren't a fresh sheet at the beginning of the period. Either way, Zadorov makes it 1-1 after one for sure. Second period, and this is where Colorado took domination in this one. They score 3 in the third. Excuse me. I'm sorry. They get 1 in the second from Cale Makar. His snapper in the slot beats Anton Khudobin to make it 2-1. That would be your game-winning goal. In the third period, Mikko Rantanen with the beauty of a pass from Nathan MacKinnon. McKinnon would also get a empty netter on this one, but my goodness gracious, Nathan MacKinnon, you're a freaking beast. He gets his 9th of the playoffs and has his 16th assist as well. 25 points in these playoffs, including the round robin. I mean, this guy is a freaking beast, I tell you. That would do it for the night. It got a little testy after that empty netter. Zadorov, I want to see if he Nope, he was an assist short of a Gordie Howe hat trick, and that would put things away as the Colorado Avalanche, despite having Gabriel Landeskog lose to injury. My goodness, why can't I think of the other guy? They lost two guys in Timmins. That's it. Connor Timmins was out and was not going to return. Landeskog came out for a little bit, thinking he could give it a go. Because there was such a long stretch of gameplay, Landeskog gave it a go. He played for like 16 seconds, but just couldn't muster it up after that. So that's what we're at. 4-1 the final for Colorado. Series tied at 3. This game 7 will be played on Friday. It's unknown right now because it banks on what happens tomorrow with Vegas and Vancouver. You have 2 games in the Edmonton bubble. I would not be surprised if Colorado and Dallas is the first game, no matter what. So let's see what we got here in the chat as we look in here. Rob, RBG Productions. Wow, so the Avs are still alive. Yes, they are. Let's fix that up. There we go. Good for them. Yes. Here we go with that. Hutchinson is getting vindicated in the playoffs. Yeah. He's played fairly well. He had let me look in the stat sheet here. He had 27 saves en route to it. The faceoffs were even 50%. Colorado, though, my goodness, with all of their firepower, they're 0 for 11 in this series. I mean, kudos to Dallas's penalty kill, but my goodness, Colorado needs to get it going. This is like the Sharks when they're in the power when they're on the power play in the playoffs. It's just falls apart. But when it clicks, and they go far on that one after that. Blocks 26-18 in favor of Dallas. I mean, most of the stats were favored in Dallas. Blocks, giveaways, takeaways. But the one that matters the most, 4-1 the final in favor of Colorado. They will play Game 7 sometime on Friday. Let's continue looking in the chat here for comments. RBG Productions, don't remind me of that series. I remember watching every second of that. Game 6 as a 10-year-old with the school next day, got grounded, and we lost. Big L for little RBG. It's okay, though, because honestly, I mean, that shows the passion you have for hockey, and it's great to have. It's great to see, or as Drick would say, you love to see it. Rob, I'm in fact or fiction. Ben Bishop starts Game 7. After the meltdown he had in Game 5, I can't see it happening. I think you go back to Kudobin for sure. In fact, I think Bishop was declared unfit to play prior to this game. Felix, hi. What's up, Felix? Rob, good to hear about you're recovered from COVID pending a test. Good to hear from you on that one. Yeah, that's right. I said, Felix. Hey, remember when we said that there hadn't been any Game 7s this postseason? We finally have one. Could we get 2 more? We'll find that out tomorrow for sure. So let's get to the bracket. All right. Oh, sorry, Felix. That's got to go away for a second. So we'll get to the bracket right now, and while I do that, I will check to see if we have any info on Game 7 and what time that will be for Dallas and Colorado. So far, haven't seen anything just yet. We know for sure it'll be on Friday. I do not see anything yet. If you see anything, by all means let me know. But for sure, that'll be Friday. And like I said, because Vegas and Vancouver play Thursday at 6:45 p.m. And they are scheduled to play Game 7 on Friday night. It will be interesting to see what the schedule comes out. As early, it would be probably as early as 3 p.m. for Game 7 on Friday. Could be something where they might even push Game 7, a potential Game 7 for Vegas and Vancouver, over to Saturday for the prime time coverage. So we'll see what happens there. Who knows on that part, though. It will be interesting to see what falls through in there, and we'll keep an eye on the Twitter to see if they do set a certain time for it. Can't see that happening. Tomorrow at 4, you'll have the Flyers and the Islanders. They'll play Game 6, with the Islanders having a chance to move on to their first Eastern Conference final since 1993. Tampa Bay still waiting. As far as I know, they have not left Toronto yet. I haven't seen anything yet. So we'll see. We shall see how it goes. But, there was talk that they might potentially start the series in Toronto and then eventually move over to Edmonton. Remains to be seen on that one. Also, the other part, too, for that matter, is the negotiations on getting the families over to the bubble now. Once teams are eliminated, there was talk that they would be able to have the families and close family members go to Edmonton in the bubble for the final 4 teams for the playoffs. Haven't seen anything confirmed just yet, but at the rate that these series are going, I wouldn't be surprised if they get that moving pretty quickly. So for sure on that, we will see when that happens. For now, but some more comments in the chat coming in, and keep them rolling, gang. It's solo. We have one game tonight. Probably not going to be on too much longer. So let's fire away if we can. RBG Productions. I think the Isles will win. As for Vegas, Vancouver, can Demko carry over his Game 5 magic? It depends on Vegas getting that early start that they love to get, especially in those first 5 minutes. They love to get on the goaltender early. If Demko can hold down, who knows? But at the rate that you're getting goal scoring from everywhere, including Brock Besser and Jake Virtanen, as much as they would say. So, yeah, and that's thank you, Amanda. It's the Abscess Game 7 will be Friday, to be determined. Nothing yet on that one, so we'll keep going on that one. And then of course it would be a Saturday Game 7 for Islanders and Flyers, so that will remain to be seen as well. Some news in the NHL. We'll do it in a wraparound.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
It's wraparound, damn it. So a lot of news came out today, and we'll do the classic Steve Dangle podcast question. What does it mean for the Sharks? Well, first off, Bill Zito gets named Florida Panthers general manager, replaces Dale Talon in that one. We'll see what that will do as the Panthers try to win the playoff series for the first time since 1996, when they beat Pittsburgh in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Final. Yeah. Pittsburgh picks up Todd Reirden, the former Caps coach, from the Capitals after he was. Gotta say, kind of interesting how that happens, as my Scarlet decides to die on me out of middle of nowhere on that one. So hopefully that fixes it up there. There we go. All righty. And I should have this, bookmarked, though, because we do have something very special. It's always special when we have a transaction like this go down. But of course, I wasn't prepared for it yet because, why would I? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But either way, I think it's time to say. It's time to say. I think it's time to say.
We have a trade to announce.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Kevin Lacey. The Montreal Canadiens, who have Carey Price, have acquired Jake Allen from the St. Louis Blues. It was a swap of 7th-round picks, one in 2021 going for one in 2020, along with a 3rd-round pick going to St. Louis. And basically, this is a salary dump. This is more than a salary dump. As talking to our friends at Let's Go Blues Radio, Jeff Ponder and Kurt Price, they were basically saying, and I'll read it verbatim from Kurt's tweet, most definitely no real point in moving him right now if trying to clear his salary was the objective. Husso, who's most likely going to be their number 2 goaltender going into next season, hasn't blown anyone away, so it's not like he's banging the door on to be the backup next year and forcing Allen out. In Ponder basically saying this is exactly what it is. It is a salary dump. The Blues move roughly $4.5 million over to Montreal. That clears up some more room to sign Alex Pietrangelo. Most likely, that's what that is. But on the flip side of it all, as we get to probably the most wide open goaltending market of the season in quite some time, I mean, it just. There's going to be so many goaltenders out there, and partly probably because of what would go down the season before the Seattle expansion draft, where teams do not want to get caught, with their pants down again. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down here. But the other part too, gang. I think. I want to say Carey Price gets paid well over $9.5 million. You throw in Jake Allen $4.5 million. We had fun making fun of the combo of what was it, Niemi and Cruz. Help me out here. Who was the other goaltender for Dallas? Oh, Lettinen, because he let 10 in. Of Niemi and Lettinen in for $10 million for the combo. Montreal is going to be paying close to $15 million for their starting netminder, or for their netminders. Now, that being said, I mean, we've seen it where a lot of teams are kind of going 60-40 with their goaltending. And Sheng just put out a good article on sjhockeynow.com about what's going on here. And you're going to see goaltenders, you're not seeing the days of Arturs Urbe playing 78 games out of 84, then plus riding him into the playoffs. Or for that matter, how we saw Nemo do it for a number of years. Or how Martin Jones did it his first year. It's no longer a number 2. It's more of a matter of having a 1B. It really is. To kind of read off of Sheng's article, and since this one's public and it's not behind a paywall, I think it'll be okay if it's okay to say it. So Sheng, hope you understand it. Another way to look at it, just one netminder, Carey Price, started over 80% of his team's games in 2019-20. about 10 years ago, you saw the likes of Martin Brodeur, Mika Kiprasov, Jonathan Quick, Henrik Lundqvist, Craig Anderson, Evgeny Nabokov, Ilya Brizgalov, Ryan Miller, Roberto Luongo, and Marc-Andre Fleury start over 80% of their team's games. A third of the league had a goaltender that was playing 80% of the games. Things have changed in 10 years to the point where you now are going to go have at least instead of having your starting goaltender be doing 60 games, now 60-20 or 60-22, now it's more like 46-36. Does that put pressure on Doug Wilson to go get a decent goaltender? The problem is that, there really isn't any spots for the Sharks to maneuver around right now. They were expecting this cap to go up. They were expecting to have some more wiggle room. I think that's why they had room to be like, okay, we will give Erik Karlsson $11 million right now. However, we know the cap is going to go up. Nobody expected COVID to happen. I mean, that would be preposterous. It's going to be a flat cap. It's like, I just can't see it happening for it. So, and Rob, you're right. I expect more salary dumps to occur with a flat cap coming. It's bound to happen. I mean, we think I've heard on the Steve Dangle podcast, will we see, Frederik Andersen get moved? And they were talking about maybe he could go to Edmonton or Calgary, who they would give up probably a pretty penny, but they can make it happen in some form. The problem is, and Rob, do they work a deal with the Vegas to acquire Fleury by packaging Koskinen? Again, I don't know. Has Koskinen shown that he can be that solid netminder? Not so much. I think the problem with it was defensively and with their goaltending. That's why they went out early in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It was not addressed. So we'll see what happens in that one. Definitely seeing a lot of goaltenders out of the free. I mean, don't forget, Braden Holtby is a free agent. Aaron Dell is a free agent. Could he possibly come back? We talked about it before the pause. We talked about it during the pause and after, especially with AJ and the crew on the Pucknologists. You can't come back with the same net mining combo. You just couldn't. But now, because of COVID and the situation that the Sharks might be in, unless there's some major hoops and something that goes down, I can't see anything happen. And as much as Fleury is probably wanting out now because Leonard is the man. By the way, Maple Leafs, you had Robin Leonard for a moment, and you traded him away. Boy, howdy, don't you wish you had Robin Leonard on your squad right now? Might actually play a little more. But that being said, it's going to be interesting what happens. What can the Sharks do? Unless they move some parts, and they really don't have a lot of parts to move at this point. It's not exactly that first round pick is pretty high. It's guaranteed to be 28, 29, 30, or 31 now from Tampa. Yeah, you're going to probably select 34th in the second round of the draft, which to be kind of concerns me, But we'll see. I mean, do they go with Cornesh? Do they go with Malinchik? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what occurs. And it's coming up, gang. I mean, we're in September. They want to get this thing going in December, if not January. I mean, look out. Things are going to come pretty quickly. And with the draft, roughly about a month or so away, a lot of it's going to go down. And a lot of it's going to go down quickly. So stay tuned. We'll be here to break it down for you. That's for darn sure. So now, we couldn't go anywhere without some little ribbing. I mean, let's be honest here. You think somebody, we weren't going to give him a shout out on his birthday. So, AJ, hope you're having a good night, bud. Happy birthday. Have a good one. Definitely got to say, one of our favorite memes, and this goes way back in the day. Oh, good for you. That's one of my favorites of all time. There was the infamous, this is the guy the Sharks are banking on to sell tickets, and we made fun of him. He was a part of a ticketing campaign for the Sharks, their 25th season. So, but the Sharks, and you're right, Rob. Sharks need to get some gems in this draft, no matter what. They may not be able to play right now, but they should be coming soon, big time. And so DW Jr., Tim Burke and company, make it happen. Make it happen. We need a return to glory for sure. So you've noticed through all these games, I've always rocked one of my jerseys. Okay. Well, I got something a little special in the mail today. We'll call it a little haul since we're on YouTube. And so, good friends at the Hockey Diversity Alliance sent me this shirt in solidarity. Let me show you it. So, check that out. Whoop. Not exactly the greatest model in the world, but we stand with you in a fight to end systemic racism, especially in the game and the sport that we absolutely love. So just want to give that a shout out to the Hockey Diversity Alliance, and Evander Kane. We also know Joel Ward, former Shark, is also on there for sure, checking it out. So that being said, I think that'll do it for this evening. I can't believe I almost went 30 minutes. That's amazing. In case you missed anything, would you want to watch this again? Check us out at tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and of course, always available at tealtownusa.com. And that'll do it for here. I'll be back with you tomorrow following the two games. At 4 p.m., you have the Islanders and Flyers playing Game 6. Islanders up 3-2. You also have Vegas and Vancouver at 6:45 tomorrow. Will there be Game 7s? Will there be handshakes? Will there be one of each? We will see, and I'll be able to break it down with you. Maybe I'll get a co-host tomorrow. We'll see. It seems to be a lot. It flows a lot more fun on with a co-host for sure. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell. That will tell you when we go on the air. It reminds you whenever we go on. And when news breaks, we go on right away with you. So stay tuned with us. Appreciate each and every one of you. Glad you're all out here being safe. Rob, get well. AJ, you have a great birthday, bud. He's probably going to kill me because I broke out the memes, but I'll deal with it later. All right. And with that, we'll take care of you. Follow us on the social media. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to check out our previous content, including the Pucknologists. And until tomorrow, keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Hey, let's get to 10 likes really quick. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you tomorrow night.